Democratic Senator Dick Durbin was on CNN this morning to talk about how he plans on leading and governing in the Senate, especially at a time when things are so polarized. And his answer was something that the hosts over at CNN absolutely loved. Let's see if you loved it, though.
Most Democrats lost seats, and some moderate Democrats are blaming the progressive, the more left wing of the party. Did that hurt the party?
Well, it was used by the Republicans very effectively in a lot of races. Even if Democrats had not said those words or gotten even close to the
But there were some Democrats in the House who did say those words.
Here's what I think. You've got to govern from the center. We want to move toward the progressive agenda, of course. Expanding the opportunity for health care is a good example of that. But are we going to move straight into Medicare for all? Of course not. That's not on the horizon in a near term based on the results of this election. Let's achieve what we can, help as many Americans as we can, particularly at this moment in history.
Appreciate your time this morning. Good luck to all of you because America is counting on all of you. Thanks, Senator.
Thanks, Bobby.
Jim.
Okay, great interview. Govern from the center, he said.
Great interview. Govern from the center, he said.
Yeah, they love that. That's corporate media catnip. They're like, oh, govern from the center. Oh, that tastes so good. Oh, yummy for my tummy. You know what happens in the center?
Nothing.
Exactly. Nothing happens in the center. You know what happens then? The status quo is protected. Well, why do CNN anchors love that? Oh, they're already rich and powerful. And if nothing changes, they remain rich and powerful. Oh, you're getting $7.25 working at Walmart? What do CNN anchors care about that? What do Democratic senators care about that? Republicans already loathe you. So, and at any time somebody like us speaks out for you, they're like, oh, they're so uncivil. Oh, they're barbarians, the way they want to actually help real people instead of the people who are already rich and powerful. It's an outrage. Govern from the center. Oh, by the way, has anyone at CNN ever read a poll? And I'm picking on CNN here because he was on CNN.
I feel like that's all CNN does.
No, not at all, Anna. That's not at all true.
Like Nate Silver polls on the election.
No. When it comes to polling of the election, the horse race, they're all over it. They love polls. You're right about that. But when it comes to polls about the issues, never. They'll even ignore their own polls. They'll get, I remember when they had a poll that had over 70% popularity for the public option during Obamacare fight. And they then, the segment after they showed their own poll, they said, now remember, the public option is very left wing and the country doesn't want it. Your own poll said over 70% want it. Right? Is over 70% of the country really left wing? No, they love the status quo. And then they wonder why people are mad at the establishment, why they pick populist candidates like Donald Trump. They're like, I don't get it. Well, that's because you're not paying attention. The center of the country is not the center of Washington. The center of Washington is massively right wing. Right now, does the country want universal health care? Absolutely. Any poll. Go read it on universal health care. And Americans are screaming, yes, we want it, right? But everybody on cable news, everyone in Washington is like, no, the drug companies, did I say drug companies? No, they have nothing. The billions of dollars that they have given to the cable companies in advertisements and the billions of dollars they've given to politicians in campaign contributions and through lobbyists. They say, are you saying that billions of dollars would affect how we think? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. And yes, you are part of the corruption. You are. And so, and as usual, we have no choice. Dick Durbin in Washington, remember, he's the #2 Democrat in the Senate. In Washington, they say, oh, Dick Durbin's very left wing. The guy who just told you we're going to govern from the center of Washington. The center of Washington is meeting Mitch McConnell halfway. And by the way, you know Democrats, they won't meet him halfway. They'll meet him 3/4 of the way. They'll meet him 90% of the way. I have no interest in governing anywhere near what Mitch McConnell wants, which is always nonstop corruption and not at all what the American people want.
I just want to show you all some interesting data from opensecrets.org, one of my favorite resources when I want to understand what motivates and moves these politicians, people like Dick Durbin. And if you look at his campaign funding between 2015 and 2020, it's broken down by top industries. And in that list of top industries, you will see Securities and investment, of course. So he's always gonna look out for Wall Street as long as they're buttering his bread. But you also have health professionals, which is why he's so against Medicare for all. Listen, in this country with legalized bribery, it's not even about ideology anymore. We keep playing this game where we pretend as though people like Dick Durbin wanna govern, period. They're not interested in governing, they're interested in maintaining their position of power. I don't know why, because they don't do anything valuable with that. They don't do anything substantive with that power. But in order to maintain that position of power, they need to play ball with the private healthcare industry. They need to play ball with Wall Street. They need to play ball with the very industries that have a vested interest in keeping things the same. Nothing will fundamentally change because the elite have decided that they don't want it to change. And so that's why we find ourselves in this situation right now. And oh wow, what a surprise that CNN anchors who get paid handsomely for reading a teleprompter don't want to pay more in taxes, so they love hearing about Democrats who want to govern from the center.
Okay. Yeah, look, I can show you literally dozens of polls where it very clearly shows the center of the country is very, very progressive on almost every issue. In fact, it's gonna be the first chapter in my book when it comes out. No joke, I already wrote it. It's an overwhelming case, okay? So now, I'll just give you one example for now. One of the most popular issues in the country is increasing taxes on the rich. It polls at over 80%. So that would be governing from the center, increasing taxes on the rich. Now, are you gonna hear that from any Republicans? No way. Are you gonna hear that from any CNN cable anchors? No way. Are you gonna hear that from Democratic leadership? No way. What happened to governing from the center? Oh, you didn't mean that. You meant governing from our pocketbooks because of the bribes that we got from all these different industries. We don't work for you, we work for them. Corruption has been legalized and none of the mainstream media told you about it. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.